referred to, Mr. Anderson? You were, I just have to stay.
In my hand?
Just curiosity.
Can I bring them up to you?
Yes, please.
Yes.
These are pictures of the 4 fields that Shane was talking about in season, the condition they're in. That's a playing surface that our kids have to play on. You'll see in that one picture, which is field 4, where home plate is, like I say, it's an inch and a quarter above ground. If a child was to slide in there, he could tear up his knee, his or her knee. We've got problems. And it's been like that.
What I'd like to say, I mean, I'm in 100% agreement with Ms. Goins and Wes, Mr. Burton, but early on, this is about the kids. That's 100% what it should be about, and I think there should be some clarity brought forth between these, you know, with the public, the citizens, the kids, whatever it takes to move forward productively. But here's my opinion. You know, I'm going to be firm with this. In the past, you know, this is being handled quite differently than it was in the past. There were some individuals tied up with this group in the past that did violations that were criminal and ethically challenging. I mean, to say the least, and I'm being nice. That you know, I presented that, even presented, I can remember to Mr. Witt at FDLE report that got played off like it was something from a cartoon character book or something to that effect. However, but just being factual with you. So, you know, I'll just put that out there. But with that being said, you know, I was told, you know, that this board had nothing to do with CAAA and any decisions, you know, that we were making. So, I mean, so this is being handled a little differently than what I was told directly years back, you know, when there was some stuff that I just saw that was ethically wrong and even criminally wrong. And can't even go into that because there's some juveniles involved, and I won't go into that. But however, just some stuff that was just morally bad. But however, with that being stated, you know, we're handling this situation differently now. However, but what I'll say, I mean, the kids are the most important factor in it, but I don't have an understanding why, you know, we're getting so much teeth now to handle this situation with Mr. Bell. I really think that should be done amongst their commission, you know, as it was in the past. I think that's the way it should be. I think right now, I don't know where we're going with this as far as, I mean, I understand what the mayor is saying, that, you know, tonight we're going to review the contract. I mean, from a legal aspect, Mr. Fugate, I mean, is that something that we have the leverage as far as to review it, that contract directly?
The contract that we have with them? Sure. I mean, you're a party to the
Yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, but as far as us making a decision whether, you know, as far as, I mean, my understanding as far as this is going to review as far as who's in leadership with that, I mean, are we in control as far as that portion of it?
No, and that's not our topic of discussion.
I mean, this came up a while back when I was here. And I think Blake has commented on this also, maybe in a meeting, maybe not. When this last came up a few years back.
About 6 years ago.
Isn't that long? My statement was the issues, the vast majority of the issues that I hear happening here are internal issues with that organization. Mm-hmm. And there are remedies within for members of that organization to deal with the issues they are having, okay? And it may be the majority of the members of that organization want to do something different, or maybe not. Maybe this is just a couple or just a handful of disgruntled members of the organization. I don't know. But it's not the city's business to try to straighten those internal issues out. Okay? It's up to them to do that. The city's sole role in this is we have a facilities use agreement with this organization. Do you want to change the terms of that agreement, or do you want to not have that agreement at all? Or do you like the agreement the way it is?
That was a clarity that I was basically trying to answer that.
You know, there were issues before about finances and such as that, but the city has no role in monitoring or policing the finances of that organization or any other organization that we have agreements with. And we have other agreements for use of city facilities with other nonprofit organizations. Start getting into the business of managing one, then where do we draw that line with the other agreements we have with other organizations?
Exactly.
Mr. Anderson, when were these taken?
During season,
Last
during the
year?
fall season this year,
Last year.
2025.
When does the baseball season start?
We're playing fall now, but
Morning.
spring.
We have a fall league and a spring league also, 2 leagues?
And we do have clay dumped out there and spread it. So I don't know how to get like that throughout the season. I don't know. I mean, we can't constantly bring tractors out there throughout, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm a little confused about, we have a fall league, right now we have baseball going on.
yes,
How many games we play a week here?
we don't play none here,
We have none here?
no.
None for fall.
Okay. All right, so then when does the baseball season start in the spring now?
Like around March.
Okay, so so Shane is not really responsible for this until spring when we start the season. Is that what I understand?
It's always been in the past, kind of springtime, that's when we do it.
So that's why, Mr. Anderson, that's probably why these haven't been maintained, because the season hasn't started.
No, the season has started. Them pictures were taken during the season.
So I do think that this conversation though is more of that internal, like who's on first base, what's on second is the way I'm feeling that's going. And I'm gonna try to swing it at one more time. I can't control, like Mr. Fugate was saying, how CAAA process is. If that complaint was made to them about the fields, the city's doing their part on there, that has to remain within the CAAA. I can't control how those fields are up here unless we are not doing our portion of it. Am I correct by stating that? Do you feel the same way, Ms. King? So I think that the field conversation is a conversation needs to be had at a CAAA board meeting. B,
They're not open to the public.
B, Mr. Anderson, be a conversation that needs to be had at the Recreation Committee. It is not something that's handled at this commission meeting. Everybody on the same page about that? Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner Jones? All right. So where we're at right now is we have a lease agreement, a facilities use agreement with CAAA that has specific number 7, and the wording is slipping my mind right now, but it has specific requirements. We as a commission need to decide, A, are we comfortable with this lease agreement as it is now? Do we want to make any changes to it? Or do we want to pull from it as we have the ability to do as well? That's the only decision that can be made tonight. Everybody on the same page about that? Feel
Yes,
good?
I understand.
Okay. So with that, Commissioner Jones, where do you feel on this facility use agreement?
I'm okay with the way it is.
With the understanding that the guidelines are, whatever's required from that lease is to be presented to the city, and a failure to do so will then create possible termination of this lease.
Right, so the information that's needed, I want to make sure I understand the number of participants in each program at the end of each season. And then, provide a current list of officers and their contact information and their insurance. Is that correct? Those are the 3 items?
That is correct. That is correct.
I don't see, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I agree. I read it a couple of times just because I wanted to make sure I understood. I think that the way we have things right now is good, and the rest of what goes on has to be with AAA, not us here. And I just feel like this needs to be the way it is, and if at some point it gets to a point where we feel like it's not correct, then like you said, we terminate that contract. And unfortunately, that's sad for the kids, but.
My question I have is, what is the need for the number of participants? Why do we need that information?
I don't have a good answer for you. This is what the contract has been. Why do we need the number of participants?
Mayor, could I ask you a question?
Sure.
Could you get, Ms. Kane, just for clarity for the commission and for the public to read those guidelines that you're wanting?
Yeah, absolutely.
What I was saying, just to give the commission an understanding and the public, could you read just, the guidelines that we're asking, them to adhere to?
What we want
Yes,
CAAA
yes,
to,
ma'am.
okay, so you're asking for CAAA to provide the number of participants in each of its programs at the end of each season. This will also include tournament participation as well. We are also asking for the contractor, which is CAAA, to provide a current list of its officers and their contact information annually. And also the contractor, CAAA, must have liability and accident insurance in the amount of $1 million prior to the use of the park facilities, which they have already provided.
And if this don't happen, what happens?
It's up to you all.
I'm sorry, Mr. Weaver, how are your thoughts and feelings on the current lease?
But I don't see issues with the current one. I've read the thing through the whole thing, and there's really no issues with this contract as long as it is followed. That's the way I think of it.
Commissioner Jones?
I'm in agreement with Mr. Weaver there. Like I stated, like he stated, as long as the contract is followed, however.